What's up? It's ya guys guy. We're back at it with Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. We're getting into the second day of trials on the third case, and things are getting juicy. So let's hop in.
Court time. July 10th, 9:49 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Oh, this is it.
Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. That. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving.
Wait.
I never liked you. Either of you. Huh?
Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Us. Hey, Apollo.
He didn't want us to hear what much he had to say. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice.
Yeah.
A little justice? Is that what you call your dick? What was that?
I think this
He
is
is heard but unseen.
that talking.
Called it. Fallon to Marie. I exclaimed as we walked in through the door. Normally,
You... the witness today, are you, Uncle Valen?
a preposterous presumption. How could I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. This is why I tend to remain hidden for the entire day.
Ooh, with banishing magic?
Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning.
Warning? What?
A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. Glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part you so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell.
There he goes.
I'm not gonna tell you the secret of the magic trick, but I'm gonna tell you that it's important. Fuck you. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing.
Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. Can't pull off a show without one. Big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like people or elephants, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really.
The Eiffel Tower?
Oh yeah,
So he was talking about what he saw at the concert.
Imaurora's disappearing act.
And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar.
Wonder what he meant by it being the root of all that's happened.
Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Excuse me, sir. The scheduled starting time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request. I think it was bribed, but I'm not at liberty to say. Some urgent personal business. Oh! Oh! I've put it together.
Heck yeah.
So now we have the motive. I don't know how we show that, but we have it now.
Yeah.
Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. Oh. The hospital? I believe he mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Can we, like, add this testimony into court record or some shit?
Bailiff statement.
Apparently,
Me your testimony.
has worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son.
That's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the...
Very conveniently mentioning this before the trial. It's almost like it's gonna be important somehow. There's an article about it in the newspaper.
Love this bailiff.
If you care to read about it yourself. I do care to read about it myself. Show me. Incuritis. Where have I heard that before?
Oh. Let you read that article for us, Apollo. Leave the TV guide page to me.
Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can.
They got Garfield in here.
July 10th, 10:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
My apologies for the delay.
My apologies for this delay. I want to actually read it before we get started. Incuritis syndrome, first case in the country. Disease strikes closer to home than ever before, and I'm not allowed to see anything else. Damn.
Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say this name again? Machi Tovai, a suspect fortissimo. Right. It's his trial in any case.
The defense is prepared, Your Honor.
Prosecution is ready to rock.
Hit me with that guitar riff. Is something wrong, Your Honor?
No. Well, yeah. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. Pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Incuritis, was it?
Damn, they're really slapping you in the face with this.
Just in case you don't remember, incuritis. Article said there's no known cure. Why does it say that?
Maybe because it's called incuritis.
Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law.
I'm sure we could strike a deal with the Virginian embassy. I mean, it's already here.
Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. In case anyone don't remember.
I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX314206. The agent registered under that number was romaine lettuce.
Thanks for looking into us for that. For us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help.
Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out.
Hold it. Wait. That voice just now. It was him. I'm sure of it. It was him? The voice I heard, talking to Mr. Lettuce. I heard those gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darien.
No way.
Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darien would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darien Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet, after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges.
And your reason is?
Weren't you of air for him? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamira, and Machi, along with a drummer and bassist for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamira and the defendant, Machi Tobai, had left the stage at that point. The Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you.
And Apollo, you heard them too, right?
I sure did.
Furthermore, Lamira herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. Then she claims to have heard Mr. Lettuce and Detective Crescent talking. But that's impossible! Detective Crescent was... Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila. Perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this?
Yeah, a lot actually. Let's get going. It's true, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up.
It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darian Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged.
Acknowledged and nothing more.
Which means that Lamira was sadly mistaken.
No, she wasn't.
Testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, we disregard her testimony. And I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict.
Then what do we do all the sleuthing for? Come on, Judge.
If indeed there are no objections.
Oh, Apollo, if he declares a verdict now...
Ah, but Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamira might have been lying to Detective Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center?
About the case? What about the case?
He wants to tell us about Mr. Lettuce's death? This meeting's over.
Darian?
Machi was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath.
Very well. The court finds the defendant, what was his name again?
Objection! Your Honor.
No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquis or Mr. Justice.
Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness.
Exactly who else do you need to hear from?
A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English.
You don't mean...
I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tobai to the stand.
What? He doesn't speak English.
Clavier, you can do a bit of translating, can't you? We'll use an interpreter.
Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases, such as I love you and where is the toilet?
Both equally important phrases to know, I think. The defense would like to request Lamira as the interpreter.
Lamoureux? There's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual. Ha ha ha. Bravo, Air Forehead. Head Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamoureux lies, I'll be able to tell.
You have psychic tell spotting too?
Yeah. Everyone does. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both the prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal.
Finally, some progress.
Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamoureux to the witness stand.
Oh hey, they can actually share the stand.
Yeah. I suppose it is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lamoureux. Yes. He says Machi Tobai, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. But we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Justice, if you would.
Huh? If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What do I want him to testify about? I haven't got that far yet.
Apollo? Aren't you gonna ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday?
How can I if I don't know what he was saying?
Excuse me a moment, if I might speak. Yes, Lamoureux.
Just now, Machi said there is something about which he wishes to testify.
Machi wants to testify about something? What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
Let's blow this shit wide open, come on!
Yeah. One moment, please.
Ugh, the suspense is killing me.
What?
What? What?
Well, Lamoureux? According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence. What? This is a surprise.
Whew! Victory, Apollo! We did it!
Trucy! Never celebrate early. Ever. This is the
Rule number one of the courtroom.
This is the #1 rule of just life. No preemptive celebrations ever. You jinx it. You just fucked it for us. This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lamoureux, I mean Machi, please testify to the court. Very well. Says that word of Mr. Lettuce's death came as a great shock. If the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, I, that is, he, could not have done it. Says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
Hold it! That's fucking bullshit. We're not even through the entire testimony, and I'm already like... We know full well you understand English. Oh, that was the final line of testimony. Well, we know what to press.
I see.
Press. I tried to say push and press at the same time.
Wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. Would prevent him from following them so closely. I wondered what he meant by proof. He would only have to ask Lamoureux to know the meaning of that song.
It's not really proof, it's just plausible deniability. Let me roar.
This testimony kind of sucks, I think.
Did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked.
Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Amara might be protecting the witness. Oh, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony. I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. Your bracelet, you say? It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh.
It worked yesterday. It's funny you mentioned that. It'll work today. Maybe I should just auto-press the fucking bracelet button on this one. Hold it! Wouldn't it be difficult for him to perform without knowing the meaning of the lyrics?
He did know what the song was about, its mood, shall we say. This was enough to play by. I told him it was a song about a guitar in love.
It's not actually the guitar that's in love, strictly speaking.
It's more like the guitar is a metaphor for someone.
Yeah, it's sort of like it has imagery. It's like a. It's fine. We don't have to talk about this. This is a court. You know, I'm just saying from the artist's perspective.
I'm not under oath right now.
Perhaps I misunderstood.
No, not really. Yours is also a valid interpretation.
Okay.
No, it is my fault. I am too used to singing in Borginian. Much even trying to understand these English lyrics.
Yay! I knew he was innocent.
Not so fast. I believe he is too, Trucy. I do.
What's wrong, Apollo? You got a tummy ache or something? You're being very brave about it.
Something's hidden in that testimony. If it's the truth, I'll find it. Oh, we can see his eyes. What? Oh, I backed out of it. Whoops. Let's try this again. Show me his eyes. That's fucking sneaky as fuck. You little bitch. You little fucking bitch. It's weird to see him with eyes, because he hasn't had eyes this whole time.
Yeah.
But also, that's why I didn't even bother moving the thing, really. Because, like, there's no way it would be anything else. Anyway, confirm. You claim you don't understand English. Machi. You can't fool my eyes. See how you acted surprised there when I said something and Lamiroar didn't translate? You glanced towards her the very moment Lamiroar said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand... I can't speak it, but you can understand English, can't you?
What are you saying? Of course he can't.
Must he continue the charade? I mean, he probably can't speak it still, but he can understand it.
Yeah.
Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English.
Huh?
Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language, that is all.
What? Give me a break.
Is that such an unusual word to understand?
How many times have I seen ellipses exclamation point because of something I said when you weren't around to translate?
Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
Well,
François?
Well, yeah, but
I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
I think you're genuinely being duped by him right now.
This
Well,
boy
then
would never lie to me.
Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad?
I'm a lawyer. Of course I am.
It's simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. Read about it in a newspaper.
The newspaper. The one that Prosecutor Gavin, not Mr. Gavin, Prosecutor Gavin distinctly mentioned didn't have the lyrics in it.
Yeah, that one. The Virginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know.
Oh, I know.
I've already begun to report about this case in our homeland.
Naturally. I was right.
What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Oh, you're not ready for this. Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. Take that! I have here a Virginian newspaper, the Virginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Look at that exclamation! How the fuck would he be able to do that? Indeed, there is a feature article about this case. Could you read it for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. And also, you understood the fact that I asked you to read it without her translating.
What? What is this all about?
I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Virginian newspaper.
What does this mean? But I don't see how it's possible. I know.
Damn.
You must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Not possible. The subjects of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. Read the full report myself.
So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard about them was in the courtroom. In English, no less.
Witness will explain herself, or himself. Machi says...
Fuck you. That's what he said.
Yes. It's true I read the newspaper. This is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
Now I remember.
He says he heard the lyrics from me.
What?
Is this true, Lamoureux? Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself.
So are you or are you not in cahoots with this guy?
Then it looks like Air 4 has been jumping to conclusions again. Seems so, yeah.
No. I'm onto something. I know it. I can't let this chance slip away.
Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
I'm going to move on cross-examining. I better have an angle attack. Shout out autosave. Apollo, you're gonna have to clue me in, because I'm clueless. My bracelet's still reacting.
Ooh.
Your Honor, please allow me to continue.
If you must, you must. Very well. Witness? Understand. It was I who explained the crime followed the song.
Exactly how much did you explain to Machi?
This is a question for me, yes? I told him that Mr. Lettuce had been killed and why he was a suspect. And I told him the crimes of that day followed my song.
Did you mention any particular words of the song relating to the case, such as heart?
Yes, of course I explained this. He was quite surprised.
Bracelet time. Oh, not him again. From behind them.
I think it just focused in on him. I don't know if that means it's actually
I'm gonna watch
him.
for it. No eyes this time. Okay. Can I pan all the way over to her? Oh, I can. Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Gotcha!
Let me roar. I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain?
Me? Uncertain?
Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained.
I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you.
Let me roar. Are you indeed protecting someone?
That is not a question with a simple answer. Tell the truth, I do not believe it myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Let me roar. You're protecting. Drop the act already. Let me roar. You are protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. And now you have Lemiroar lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover up a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. Oh yeah, you have to give him a voice now.
Oh my god, shit.
Not
I
just
didn't think
little
about that.
neighbors.
I missed my little...
Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
I don't know how to do a voice. Yes, a little only.
That just sounds German again. Fuck!
What?
We'll workshop it.
Lest he could see, now he can talk. And you did not know this, Lamiroar.
But then why was she covering so hard? Like, for real.
No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
Last. This is last.
Machi, can you tell us what really happened?
No shooting. I did no shooting.
So you were in the dressing room when I heard those two gunshots, correct? Stop fucking lying already, please.
Apparently, the answer to that question isn't simple either.
I was in dressing room, behind desk. Manager, he on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there is voice.
Voice? Or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo?
No, it was Darian. So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot. And then we came in. And then we came to the door.
Tunnel high up. I take off. Run away. Run away.
So it was you who escaped through that air vent.
Ha ha ha. As the prosecution has upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
No, because he also said he didn't shoot anyone. Objection! And again, the gun would be too powerful. It would have shouted his... not shouted. It would have shattered his tiny, growing bones. No, he clearly denied that he did it.
I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor. Reminds me of Cell Block Tango, where there's the, like, girl that says,
Oh, yeah.
The victim had already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter. Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
Clammed up, Apollo.
And let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness?
Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is.
What's this cocoon, anyway?
Cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure.
Cure? Almachi, are you a smuggler?
He won't tell me.
That cocoon has to have something to do with this. Machi, please tell us the truth, for your own sake.
No. No more speak. Not to any of you. So much for your precious trust, Air Forehead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. It does seem the defense and the defendant are at odds. I doubt we're likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed.
July 10th, 11:23 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Apollo Eustace. Okay, now I know it's something.
That's justice. Gotta learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe. I know shooting.
I believe you. Machi claims Mr. Lettuce was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap and you walked right into it.
Suddenly, I hear a revolver. Close, very close. Kind of turning Russian. Then I hear a voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound.
Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Lettuce already dead. Then you heard shots? If that's true,
So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots.
and you escaped through the small air vent.
No.
Huh? What do you know?
I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went both to the stage and the backstage.
right. Look, Apollo.
Those vents were not on the diagram before, but whatever. Unless they were. I don't think they were.
I don't know if they were.
Huh, yeah. How did you know it was connected like that?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something.
Hear this from magician.
Magician?
Don't look at me.
No, your uncle, you idiot. Magician, huh?
Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latouche.
Yeah, but what does that leave us with? Maybe someone with a bullet head might have shot some bullets. We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots? That one's gonna go over well in court. Not.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me.
I'll just pretend you misheard him. Every time. So what do we do?
Sure you won't testify, Machi?
Hey, no talking. No.
Well, it was worth a shot.
That cocoon.
Can't go home.
Can't go home?
Can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. Penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death.
That's right, it's punishable by Dad. Of course, he's scared. Oh well, I guess we'll have to just try a different approach.
It's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan?
If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right.
July 10, 11:28 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk.
Very well. So he will testify.
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What? Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
Don't think I'm out for the count yet, Clav. Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
Different angle.
If Machi won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamiror.
Lamiror?
Thanks for doing that for us, because I would have had no idea who you're referring to. Objection!
Yeah, I would have been like, maybe Valen? I don't know. What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lamiror's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can...
Lamiror was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lamiror dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin. Why would anyone be out to kill Lamiror? Can you think of a reason?
Well...
Think of how she's known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
I don't think...
I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out.
So am I to understand that this is what you're saying? Namely, that there is a nugget of truth in Lamirar's testimony. Nugget we have yet to uncover?
I'm trying to, like, remember everything she said yesterday. And it's hard to tell if we got it because we metagamed, or we got it because we smart, or we haven't actually got it yet. Exactly.
The one way to find out. Lamirar was attacked. This has some serious implications.
You're telling me.
Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we didn't inquire as deeply as we might have into some. Court will hear Lamirar's testimony once more. Lamirar, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak.
Need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent. I will do all that I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window. And that voice belonged to Darian Crescent, yes?
That is correct.
At which point I proved that she could not be correct. Couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof. I have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice.
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know.
Oh, hush.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. My way from the stage to the backstage exit.
Which way? Through the vents?
It's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. And I heard another gunshot. It was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to speaking much in this language.
Again, press X to doubt. You have been speaking perfectly fluently. Except for that one, how you say window? Like that one throwaway remark. Otherwise, you've been speaking like perfectly fluently. Like, bruh.
Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. But everything I have said here is the truth.
And it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself? Lamirar was attacked because of this testimony. What, Trucy?
Paulo, you know, for a moment there, you're pretty cool.
Aw, thanks.
You're bonding.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Hint, hint, nudge,
Very
nudge.
well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness?
Darian Crescent?
Did not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible?
How many times do I need to remind you he tried to kill her because she called him out?
There is no way you could have hurt him.
Because the window at the scene was closed? Is that why?
Of course.
Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
I'm just covering my bases. She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try? What were they talking about? I want answers. Lemuror, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us.
I have given it much reflection, but
I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember.
I only heard one phrase clearly.
Bada bing, bada boom. A whole phrase?
You remember something that was said?
Why didn't you mention this earlier? Literally.
Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak.
Especially since I did actually almost get killed for speaking up earlier.
Oh. See, I do not understand what was said.
That too. This could be it. The clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latouche.
Figured. The shooter, then. Darian Crescent.
Well, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch now.
Well, well, well.
Switch? Like the Nintendo Switch? The shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Latouche?
I thought it quite strange myself afterward.
It's a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
I believe this is the switch in question. I'd be delighted. I mean, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony?
Maybe, Apollo?
Yeah, have more confidence, Apollo.
Better than this, man.
Hold it! And it was Detective Darian Crescent's voice.
Yes, I am sure of it.
It's over. Press the switch.
Why would he say that to Mr. Latouche? Apollo! The murder weapon, the revolver, was Mr. Latouche's, right?
Yeah, what of it?
Well, maybe when he said press the switch, he really meant to say pull the trigger.
No, he's a fluent English speaker. I'm not.
Because his English isn't so good.
Darian Crescent is a native speaker.
Oh, right. Sorry, I kind of forgot who was what.
Press the switch. Do we know of any switch? It's not something a killer usually says to their victim, is it?
Is there no one else in the room?
Machi was in the room. No, wait, no, he
Do
wasn't
not
found
know.
yet.
Oh.
No, he wasn't.
All I heard was Mr. Latouche and the detective.
Lemuror was attacked because of this testimony. I know she was, so something's gotta be hidden here.
Maybe there's some detail we're missing.
I guess we'll just have to try and get her to fill in the blanks.
Right.
Oh, wrong one. Music stopped, I think we're good. Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words.
Oh?
Your keys, Clavier.
Too bad they were stolen. There was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights.
We didn't show you the other piece of that igniter, dear prosecutor. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens I have a switch right here.
It certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it?
The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there.
On the stage? Are you claiming the voice Lamoureux heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch?
It's a possibility.
Objection!
Or air forehead? I'd call that an impossibility.
Why?
It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum.
Do you want me to draw the 30-foot circle for you? Because I can.
The stage is quite far from Lamoureux's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviniers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. They aren't known for being a quiet band. Could shout all you wanted and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So too have Air Forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard.
Then how would you care to explain your guitar setting on fire, dear prosecutor? Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said. Or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room. Don't even need to. Don't even need to.
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this?
Why that's... What? What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
While I wasn't looking.
Those dang technologies.
This is a type of transmitter, a communications device.
Communications? Device?
Everyone on stage is wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, actually. Therefore talking between band members.
And staff.
And stuff. We all had one on.
So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
Objection!
True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited.
Yeah, 30 feet. Shall I draw the circle for you?
Aurora said it was about 30 feet, right?
Look at this cross-section diagram on the concert forum.
Ah.
Exactly. The walk from the stage to backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
That can't be.
Oh, but it can be. And it is.
So, when Lamoureux heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Objection!
Ha! You're claiming this is the switch in question?
Yes.
Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact.
Actually, you make a good point.
Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? The shooter said press the switch.
Because it detonates the igniter, which means it had to be within 30 feet of Clavier's guitar. That's how. Well, I guess we don't.
An unfortunate situation.
Damn.
I'm afraid that until we know where this switch was, there's little point in debating it.
Ugh. Let me present the thing. I was sure this was the way to go with it. It is, trust me, just...
What is this switch, anyway?
Oh, this is our little secret that we didn't fill you in on yesterday. Sorry about that, babe.
We don't even know that basic fact.
Aha! I had almost forgotten. Thank you, Prosecutor Gavin. I do know what this switch is. Yeah, no shit! And if you follow that train of logic, to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case.
What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
Shh, Trucy, I'm focused. We know about the switch, right? We know what it is.
Yeah?
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened.
Well, Mr. Justice, you have no further information to share concerning this switch.
Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Justice.
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, the defense is set upon linking this switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what the switch is?
Not even saving. Not even saving. Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
Ach, that's that... What? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
It is, actually. In fact, it's in two parts. You, just hit this red switch, and then... Oh boy, you're on fire!
You get to have a fire conversation.
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter? Bars.
Yes, actually.
On saying the switch is a remote.
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you. Be careful, everyone. Stand back.
Yo, 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 yo. Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
Sorry. That was a bit more fire than I'd expected.
My whiskers had caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you?
Ooh.
Exactly. That night, at the concert, was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught on fire in the middle of the concert.
Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Prosecutor Gavin was entirely— Oh! Oh, we just got a solid timeline. Fuck yeah!
Yeah!
That's why she was in a rush, because she had to make sure she didn't miss her cue. I mean, I kind of already had a sense of that, but now this is like super embarrassed. I'm a god at this. Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. And the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake.
That's right. He got it in Virginia from Lee Marar.
But also, like, Lamirar, why the fuck would you just hide that? Oh, wait, no, because she promised the magician to not tell a soul.
Yeah.
So I
She
guess.
stands by her word.
I guess. But at the same time, like, we could kind of gather, and also at the same time, like, this is a fucking investigation here, come on. And also at the same time, like, I'm not gonna dwell on it. We'll never get done if I dwell on every stupid thing these characters do.
There's a lot.
Said the sound was amazing, before it burned, of course. Now it just kinda smokes.
Better the guitar, the brighter it burns. A forehead.
Yes?
Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together.
I'm not just trying. I am.
Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamb roar. The guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught on fire.
Well, that does seem to make sense. Something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it.
The death happened in the second act, not the third. Really? It seems pretty simple to me.
Objection!
A forehead, don't destroy what little respect I have for you. I was expecting something a little more sensible. Guess I was wrong. What's all this about, Prosecutor Gavin? Simple story simply makes no sense.
Are you sure about that?
Think! That night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this, indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. There's absolutely no way to explain this.
Ah, that's right, of course. Guitar caught fire during Lamarar's song.
Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set.
Or did it?
Those are utterly unrelated.
Still something to investigate, but...
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. Whole premise for this is faulty.
Keep an open mind, and let's look at this from a new angle, dear Judge.
See, his story makes no sense. Oh wait, that's Clavier. Who cares?
Whatever. Are you sure about that?
Oh my god, John Cena. What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for this entire case so far.
What premise is this specifically?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
Objection!
What's this? But Detective Emma Skye heard shots and found the body. All of this happens in the third act.
Objection!
Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in the dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony, namely that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane.
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on the headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act.
What? Order. But that goes against the evidence.
What does, Your Honor?
This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes?
He's right, look! Bullet is supposed to come after the fire.
Yeah, well, there were two fires in there, so... You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look. Why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it.
I thought he was gonna say it's an awful song to base a murder on. Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason.
Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
I was saying the order was reversed on purpose. Reversed, Computer Gavin. If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. But our forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire.
Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he followed the lyrics the whole way.
Order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
Objection!
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all.
Please, do try.
Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. I question your logic. Oh, it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction, Air Forehead. One I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lamora have heard a voice through it?
Oh.
I know. Wait, I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact. But you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lemuro's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
I think she could.
You probably could.
Look, what do we have? A man saying, press the switch, and also in a calm manner, not needing to shout. The only reason you would not need to shout at such a large and loud venue is because you were talking over the receiver. And near the crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be a coincidence, but how do I make it work?
I see a more direct line of questioning is required. And the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime. That window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamora heard the voice? Point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Yes, I can. How is Lammeror able to hear the voice? Are they trying to place her in the vents? Is that what they're trying to do?
Might be.
I'm gonna lock that in. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window.
Ah, it's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian too. Okay, Clavier.
Clavier, what the
Alright.
fuck?
Okay.
What the
Maybe
fuck?
chill out there a little bit, buddy.
Yeah. As I was saying, Lemuror could not hear the voice through that window. So there can only be one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
What's this? Ha ha ha. You do amuse me so. Here I thought you and good sense were back on speaking terms.
Oh, we are. You're just not in the same chapter as us, I'm afraid.
Now I'm afraid you and good sense speak two entirely different languages.
Funny you say that.
Shall I interpret for you, Air Forehead?
No need, but you can do what you want.
Are you sure? You don't want to, like, hang out or something? I don't know. Lemuror clearly stated that she heard the voice through that small window.
Did she?
Huh? Oh. And there is only one small window at the scene.
Unless... Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene?
There is?
Yes, we've mentioned it a few times now. Although we didn't call it a
I
window.
know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Lemuror heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was.
Lemuror heard the voice from here. Question? Are these vents or lights?
They are vents.
Okay. I hope any of them will do.
Wait. I think... it might be a specific one.
Because I can pan over to here. And this one's more obviously a vent.
It's also closer to a certain piece of evidence, hee hee.
Oh yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Now it makes sense why the fuck that fucking brooch is there. And not
Yeah.
what she said it was. Because I was so fucking pissed about that. This is where Lemuror heard the voice from.
But that's no small window. That's the air vent.
You forget Lemuror is blind. What did she tell us? She said she's a Virginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window.
Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lemuror was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice?
That's the only logical explanation, yes.
Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, Air Forehead.
You just gotta catch up, then you'll see. Okay, what about this isn't logical? Tell me where I lost you.
Ha! Hardly merits saying.
Say it, so I can help you out here.
You say it first. Is that way I know we're on the same page? Why would Lemuror be in the ventilation system?
Ah, there it is.
Hiding like a rat? No offense intended to her, of course.
The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lemuror? You've been listening to our discussion here, yes?
Yes. I admit it's had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. Why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter.
I fucking love this. I fucking love this so much. Her mention of a small window has been entirely different, an entirely different thing from our mention of a small window. She doesn't even know that there's like a proper window that happens to be small in that room. I love that. I love that so much. That's clever. That's so clever.
Look.
The problem here is words. For once, they're actually backing up this fucking fact they keep saying about how she doesn't understand English that well, despite the fact that she speaks it perfectly fluently. Whatever. Lemuror, this small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on the wall?
Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What? Order, order, I will have order. Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. You in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact, I was. Sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point.
Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? Come on, Apollo, I thought you figured this out. That's why you mentioned the vent. Whatever.
I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can't.
It's okay, I can say it for you.
May I remind you this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony.
She has a right to remain silent.
Yeah. That is why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of the room. Please.
Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Oh, she's actually doing it. Okay. See how much she actually
Easily
says.
peer pressured.
Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice.
The vents are that big.
Yes.
I heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I'm bound to secrecy on this matter.
And you said that in orange. Not that I needed that, but it's there.
It's really important. Not for any reason, though.
Bound to secrecy in orange.
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
You say you were in the middle of your performance. So this did happen during the second set.
I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail. That's what the cross-examination is for, ya air forehead.
Indeed it is. Thank you, Prosecutor Gavin. I'll take it from here.
No problem. You got it. Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
Thank you kindly.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
Just wait and see. I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. It's right in front of you.
Something about Mia Fey being like, oh, think outside the box.
You heard the gunshots during the second set, during your performance. You're quite sure?
Yes. How would I lie about the time?
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
No one asked me. Thought you all knew.
Convenient excuse.
I told you Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times.
Yes, you did. But you never told us why.
I'm sorry. I was not able to speak of it.
Unable or unwilling?
He's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
Give me a moment.
Freaking out, man.
We'll just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she is bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it.
How are you going to do that?
Give me a moment.
He was singing on the stage, Apollo. He couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Except she could have, if she was. Yes, she could.
Huh.
I've got a theory as to why, too. And maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. You do. Flip through all of these. Hold it! Exactly who bound you to secrecy?
I'm not sure I'm allowed to say who it was.
Can I fill in the blanks for you? I mean, Prosecutor Gavin does it all the time.
No, I think that it is all right. It's just a name after all. It was Valant Grammary. Perhaps you know him?
Yes, we do. Thank you very much. Add this to the testimony, please.
Valant Grammary? What?
You mean Uncle Valen?
You put it together yet, Truce?
What? Valant Grammary? Valant Grammary.
Grand Magician, the one responsible for the illusion performed during our concert.
Interesting reaction, Prosecutor Gavin. Lemirar was bound to secrecy. It's going to take some hard-hitting proof to make her talk. I think I know why she was up there, but how do I prove it? Good question. How do I prove it? So we've pressed everything. So now... Is it finally my time to call out the fucking root? No. No, that wouldn't... We're trying to focus on why she was shut up. What's the description on this? It just says fucking diagram.
Oh. I've just realized what it is. Hehe.
Okay, you sit with that, I try and figure it out. And if it takes me more than 5 minutes, then tell me. Is it the tape?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, the question is what dialogue do we put it to?
Yeah, that I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe the one where she's like, oh, it's a secret, so you can be like, surprise, I know what it is, but I'm not sure.
Well, this is why we have the save function. Take that! Wrong one. Lemirar, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance.
What happened?
Yes. It's all right here on this video. Oh boy, 3D Gavin again. Oh yeah, this is not pretty to look at. You do that, she jumps through the trap door down there. You, like, go as fast as you can through the fucking vents.
Love Gavin's fingers clipping through the guitar a little bit.
Really. And then while that's happening, you very quickly hop up through this trapdoor. You must have had to practice that so much.
Yeah.
That is not a lot of time at all.
He
And
was
also, like,
sprinting through those vents.
and also, like, her voice was still carrying the entire time.
Well, that's probably, like, microphones or whatever.
Probably. But if she were singing through the microphone as she was traveling, which maybe that's where we bring the mixing board in. I don't know. As we can see, Lemirar was clearly not on stage for her entire performance.
Ah.
Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lemirar is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the form.
Apollo?
You're not supposed to reveal a magician's secrets! Too fucking bad, this is a murder trial.
Apollo, please!
What, Trucy?
It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules.
Too bad. This is a murder trial.
But magic.
But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to be nice.
I'm a magician.
This is all very fascinating. How is it possible? There's only about 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears.
I know, right?
You couldn't have moved that fast. Something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
She could have, if she used the vents. This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Aha!
He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at this cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace the route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage, through the backstage, to the rear of the forum.
Ah! Ah!
Recall Lemuro's testimony from yesterday.
I was on my way back. Oh, I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. Something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
Something like a little window. I should have picked up on that more.
You went from the stage to the backstage exit. Perfect description of this route above the ceiling.
Lemuror knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew.
What?
Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something.
No. I know if I opening vent can leave stage and backstage.
He said that?
Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
I knew something about the vanishing act, of course. Yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me?
A magician never reveals their secrets.
Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis.
Oh, you're changing up your rule now, are ya? Because this is a need-to-know basis, Trucy.
Nuh-uh.
How's she gonna go about this?
Need-to-know basis is like if you haven't prepared your magic tricks on time and you need one really quick. The bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why he bound Lemuror's secrecy. Well, Lemuror?
I'm impressed, Mr. Attorney.
Aw, shucks, thanks, yeah.
Machi was right about you.
What was he saying about me?
So what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
Did.
Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused.
What's that, Your Honor?
As I said before, there was very little time between when she disappeared and reappeared.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
20 seconds, tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
That's a good question.
The witness explained this to the court.
I cannot.
I had
Very well,
case.
Mr. Justice.
Yes?
All up to you. Do your thing.
What thing, Your Honor?
You need to explain how Lemuror was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
Ugh. Why do I get picked on? It's Lemuror who isn't going along with the program here.
As I've stated before, I'm not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
You know it.
Yes, if you would, please.
Right. See, if she wants us to know the truth, then she can just tell us.
Yeah.
She's literally sitting here like, I can't tell you, but if you wanted to torture it out of me, then, like, I'd definitely tell you.
Go ahead and waterboard me, I don't care.
I feel like a student before finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
Followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There's an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. Plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
The voice.
2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Of course, Your Honor. All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lemurar is saying and what we can plainly see in the video.
Figured it out already. I am a magician after all.
Damn. Well, tell me.
Not a chance.
Fuck you.
Can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on.
Hey,
I'm not a
you're supposed
snitch.
to be on my side here.
Hold it!
2 minutes?
Yes. It can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
Running in that cramped, dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me.
Ah, that's true, but
So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes.
Yes. Oh, I nearly didn't make it in time. See, I stopped halfway.
Lemurar disappears on the video for 20 seconds, but she said she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
You could just fucking tell me, Trucy.
Oh.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have some evidence for us?
A slight detail.
I bet
It's
I
very
can guess
important.
what it is. I haven't been looking for it, but I bet it's there.
Or is the problem that it's not there? Ooh!
Yep, just as I thought. Okay, so her hair kind of like really hides it, so you can't really tell properly.
Yeah.
But then they do
Oh,
go
but then
back
there's
to
the CG.
2D to confirm it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that was be the case. I didn't bother looking for it, but like, you know, the bridge had to get there somehow. Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony. Maybe? Evidence explaining the discrepancy. What the fuck were we talking about?
Having done this before, I know it, and I like understand what it's saying, but I will say it's saying it so poorly.
Well, Trucy said use the video. So, we're gonna use the video. There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between the video and the testimony. If it's not the video, I'm going to kill Trucy. And then we'll have a new murder trial on our hands. Wrong button. I don't need this again. Music stopped. Okay.
Ah! So this is it, the magical key to unlocking this illusion's dark secret. Tell us how it works, quickly! I can't bear the suspense.
You've never seen a fucking VHS tape before?
No, we live in the future.
I was kind of hoping someone else would jump in at this point. Well, you see...
Objection!
Judge, I do hate to spoil the mood, but Trucy's about to die. I haven't the faintest idea of what she's talking about, and neither does he.
I'm a little confused too there, Apollo.
You're the one who said to use the video! Right, by which I conclude that I was wrong.
Better luck next time, Pollywog.
Mr. Justice, you have to kill Trucy now.
You motherfucker! Was that a tear I just saw?
Okay, do you want the explanation of what it needs? Because again, the phrasing on this, so bad.
See, like, this is, like, clearly related to what happened. But for the love of fuck. Like, this doesn't have anything to do with speed in any way. It's not like the brooch was 10 pounds and accidentally dropping it meant that she could run super fast.
Alongside having the biggest amnesia in the world, she also has the biggest brooch in the world.
It's gotta be, like, the mixing board because we haven't touched it yet, or somehow the fucking brooch. Yeah, we have a save. Might as well fucking... Oh, we can just jam out if we want to. Didn't know that.
Nice. That's fun. In case you need a break, you can just listen to Guilty Love.
Might need a break. See if this does anything.
I have bad news.
Alright, let me at least try the fucking brooch, and if that's not it, then... Take that!
Congratulations, it's the brooch. This is why the phrasing was bad, because when Trucy said, I bet the answer's in the video, you're supposed to watch the video and notice her brooch disappears, and what you're supposed to be answering is why she almost didn't make it, because she mentioned she, like, stopped halfway. And it's supposed to be, oh, she stopped halfway because she dropped her brooch. But the phrasing on it is so horrible. Like, it fully does not come across.
Why do you think I, like, had to pull up the, like, dialogue history 3 times?
Yeah.
I had no idea what the fuck they were asking. And, like, I didn't even really, like, think to do it immediately because I thought we had already established this.
Yeah.
At least I didn't have to have you hand it to me.
Yeah.
But, like, I thought that was already a concretely established thing. But no, these characters are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Anyway. Fuck you, Ace Attorney, for real.
Brooch! Oh, what a lovely brooch! We love the brooch here. We saw it yesterday, did we not?
Yes, we did. It was found at the scene, Your Honor.
You're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped.
Yes, but like I've been saying since the beginning, the position of where it was dropped didn't make sense until right now. To you, Fox, I figured it out a long time ago. So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Notice how the brooch is here? Can we fast forward through this, please?
Now you see it. And soon you don't.
Here, you can see she's wearing the brooch.
So she is.
Let's look a bit later. She's not wearing the brooch.
What? What? The brooch is gone.
Yes, we established this fucking yesterday, I want to say.
What? Who could have seen this coming?
Yes, the brooch disappeared in the short span of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. Do tell, Apollo! Do tell! The Lamy Roar we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lamy Roar we see after are two different people.
What? What?
The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lamy Roar, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime?
Yes, I think I did.
See, I kept thinking of that possibility of, like, it had to be, like, two people, because that's way too quick. I kept thinking about that, but then I'm like, no, who the fuck would pose as the other Lamy Roar? So, give me that one, Apollo. Tell me, who the fuck was posing as the other Lamy Roar?
You have the answer to that one. Order Prosecutor Gavin.
It was Prosecutor Gavin?
From expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Air Judge. I, of course, knew about it. What? Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time.
So, I was right? There was a switch?
It was.
What the fuck?
Just before the stage's tower rose, Lamy Roar was replaced. While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lamy Roar? By the man behind the illusion, Valent Grammary.
The what? That's so
They got
bullshit.
Valent to dress up as Lamy Roar.
That's so bullshit. That's so completely bullshit. I see why people hate this now. No, fucking. Look at this man. Look at this man.
Alike?
He's 44 with a mustache.
Well, how old's Lamy Roar? He's 40. That's not too bad. She's got the face mask. It covers up his mustache.
Okay, listen. A wig and makeup can do a lot, especially since she has that veil in front of her. And there are colored contacts, so I can excuse that. But their face shapes are completely different.
And the majority of that can be masked by the veil.
You've got a point. But
Just did some drag makeup.
1 second. One motherfucking goddamn second. Let me pause on this for fuck's sake. Fuck you and your plausible deniability. Cause, like, I'm sitting here. It makes very little sense. It truly does. He's like a skin tone darker, but again, there's makeup. There's a mustache that, like...
He's an illusionist.
But that's the other thing. Like, I mean, technically he was hiding it behind the veil. So he could have kept the mustache or not.
Yeah.
But whatever. And also, like, we
He
can't
just
pull up
cast
a full...
prestidigitation. He cast disguise self.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking pull up a, like, full body image of this bitch. Because, like, that is the one thing...
He is built exponentially different to Lamy Roar.
I guess he does have kind of a thin waist. It's like That's the other thing.
That just reminded me of that, like, I think it's a Tumblr text post where it's like, SMH men in their slutty little waists.
Guess he does have kind of thin waist. Enough that, like, with the power of drag, it could be done. But, like, that's the thing. You can always, like, act like you have more body fat than you do. But you can't really act like you have less than you do. Like, I'm pretty, like, chubby. Not like, incredibly fat, but I'm decently chubby. And if I were to try and pose as someone, like, incredibly skinny, that wouldn't be able to happen.
Just got, like, a crazy corset.
Yeah, but then, like, other parts of my body are chubby, too. There's, like, my arms, they've got extra skin on
Full
them.
body corset.
And, like, my thighs. I got thick-ass thighs. But anyway, fine. I guess you win with the power of fucking drag.
The power of drag and also magic.
It was Gramarye? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing.
Yes?
The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage.
That's right.
But this, fake Lemuror is still singing, and she's pretty good. Now I can bring out the music board!
That's true!
Come on, Apollo. That's an easy one.
Yeah, it is, Apollo. I've been waiting to bring this out since it got put in the court record.
We're just playing a recording.
Ha ha. The Gavanier's on some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein.
Oh, you mean I'm wrong?
When we play a show live, we play live. No recordings.
Objection! The soundboard. Specifically used to record.
Perhaps you can explain, Lemuror. Very well. Yes, do tell, and add it to your testimony.
Hold it! You're singing?
Yes.
See, that was the other thing. It crossed my mind. But it doesn't make sense. Because if she was singing, they would have heard her in the vent.
Sir Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings. So I used this.
Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling towards backstage?
Why should it matter where I sing when everywhere I go is the same darkness?
Because why didn't the other people hear or acknowledge it? I mean, I guess Lettuce kind of did.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right. Wouldn't the shooter and victim have heard? He was singing right over their heads after all.
That's right!
Are you sure?
You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling.
Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime.
What state?
Ah, I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
Yeah, I thought of that too. Here's the fucking thing. Even though you say real time, there is always going to be a slight delay. Always. So they would have heard her singing herself, and they would have heard the recording, even if it's as close as it can be, just like half a second behind her. Or Because she was so close to that speaker, it would have created loud feedback. The speaker? The speaker was blaring at the time of the murder.
That's for monitoring the stage from this room.
Monitoring?
Pipes in a real-time feed from the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set's coming up.
Let me fucking guess. They're not gonna get into these deep logistics of it, and so we're just gonna take this as fact that, like, her singing was perfectly in sync with what was coming out of the speaker, which I still think is bullshit, but that's what we're gonna go with, isn't it?
Satisfied.
No.
That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually.
So Lemurar singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lemurar singing over the speaker.
Ingenious! Her voice was hidden by her voice.
I still think that's bullshit, but whatever.
Ah,
Lemurar?
I have just remembered something.
Thought you were amnesiac.
Do tell! I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I...
So you...
stopped singing. What? I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
Should I pull up the recording again? Because it didn't feel like there was a pause to me. The song stopped? No, I'm fucking pulling up the recording again. Go back a little bit further. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, wrong button. Still fuck you, but
Yeah. Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second
I
verse.
guess I should have just let her talk for one more sentence. Fuck you.
Yeah. So not many would notice.
Especially because it was a repeat line.
Forehead, that mixing board I lent you, where is it?
Right here, Prosecutor Gavin. About time. The mixing, huh?
The machine, Apollo. The one that breaks music into tracks.
Wrong one. I didn't realize you could do that. Anyway, this one! Right here! Oh, this! I'd completely forgotten about it. I hadn't.
Apollo's like foaming at the mouth.
Let's take a listen. Oh, what is her voice? I can't just
It's the like high-pitched duties and...
Yeah. Whatever. I know what it is. Especially because, like, you told us what line to look for. The song does stop there.
It does? I must have missed it.
Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. You mean the second verse that I've been screaming about this whole time? That we keep ignoring? See where it says pleasure? Pleasure? Now listen again. There's only one pleasure. We don't have to go through all of this, I can just tell you. As a story, this is a really good case. But
Yeah.
the fucking...
In execution, it's got a couple problems.
A couple is an understatement.
This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake.
Oh, is that so? The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lemirore's ballad.
If that's true, no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter.
Which means that Darian Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Fascinating.
You're telling me.
I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turned around quite so slowly.
Tell me about it. This is about to be a disaster.
Yet one problem remains. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Our forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. This is entirely based upon Lemirore's testimony.
Shit, he's right.
Yes, is there a problem with this? Well, it's quite simple, so it pains me to say it. What if she's lying to protect the defendant?
This old narrative? Might I remind you, we have multiple instances of proof. One,
Okay, but I'm here to be a problem.
whatever. Whatever. I'll just throw whatever shit you want me to throw at you. But you have no proof.
All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear.
Make this guy pull out some evidence for once.
No. Until we hear directly from the man himself.
What, romaine lettuce? He's dead. He can't exactly tell us.
Man, you don't mean... Yes. So he's a friend and band member. Darian Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way. Is someone with a new perspective on the case? As a suspect, to be frank.
Finally, the rat's come out of his hole. I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescent, get ready for justice.
This is as good a time as any for a pause for a brief recess. Prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin. He's the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are. Very well, court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess.
That's all for this episode. Please remember to check out Kendra's channel below, and I will see you later, whenever later may be.